What is good? What is up? It's Jordan or Texans Thoughts, and I'm back with another film breakdown. Today, we are going to be looking at the 2019 Week 5 matchup between Amari Cooper of the Cowboys and Jair Alexander of the Packers. Now, I know my audience is mostly Texans fans, but I am trying to reach other fan bases with this video, so if you're a Texans fan who clicked on this, it's also just great to appreciate really good football by two of the best players at their position and learn from that and see where our players stack up. As for Cowboys and Packers fans, welcome. I'm going to be continuing this series throughout the NFL season and looking at a matchup between wide receiver versus cornerback, O-line versus D-line, or even a safety versus tight end every single week and breaking them down to see who really won. So I hope you enjoy the content. So for today, in one corner, we've got Amari Cooper, who for my money is the best route runner in the league. He's so nuanced and detailed, it's crazy, man. And he pairs that with great athleticism to make him one of the most dangerous wide receivers in the NFL. In the other corner, we've got Jair Alexander, who I've been a huge fan of since his time at Louisville, and he's one of the best athletes at cornerback, very fluid hips, plays man and zone well, great ball skills as well, and I really think he's going to be a top 5 cornerback in the game very, very soon. But this was just a crazy matchup between the two young stars, and the box score shows one thing, but the film could show another story. So let's really see who won this matchup and how they won. So if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. Now, let's break down the film of Cooper versus Jair because the film don't lie. So the first thing I want to look at is the man coverage reps between Jair and Cooper. And the Cowboys ran 44 total passing plays, and 32 of which Cooper and Jair were lined up on the same side. And out of those 32, 14 of which were man coverage reps. And so we're going to start by looking at most of those reps. And early in the game, on one of the very first plays between the two, Cooper, he's going to get open on this post, and he's going to drop the throw from Dak, and it's going to go right into Jair's hands for the interception. So that's going to look really great on Jair's stat sheet, but how much of this interception is actually Cooper's fault? So Cooper's going to be running a post against cover 1 here, and he's going to do great to release outside, then boom, take it up inside, go downfield, then snap it off really sharply, and create so much space, and the ball hits him in the hands. But let's see from this angle to get a great idea of how accurate this throw really was. You can see here that it hits him in the hands, and that's not honestly too bad of a throw. That's not egregious by Dak. It is a little bit behind him, but to be honest, Cooper's got to catch that. So while it wasn't the perfect throw, he's a star wide receiver. He's got to make those catches, and I would put that interception on him. And on the next drive, Cooper clearly wanted to make up for it. Against Jair in off-man coverage here, he's going to run a nasty out and up. Woo, just burning Jair like toast, man. He created so much space, and if that was a better throw by Dak, if he didn't have to reach out for it and stumble on the catch, he could have taken that for 6. And running a double move against off coverage can be really effective because as a cornerback, when you're given this much space and you see the wide receiver breaking on a shorter route, you really have to respect that, to be honest, because if you don't break on that quickly, then that's an easy completion, right? So of course Jair is going to play this aggressively. He's going to go downhill playing the out, and then Cooper just sells it so nicely and cuts it upfield in one motion, create all that space, and man, he's one of the best, if not the best, double move route runners in the league, bro. It was a really good fight, to be honest. Jair is no scrub, and on this slant, he breaks it up really nicely. He stays in position, is able to stack him and reach around him using his length to break it up at the catch point. So with most slants, wide receivers will fake outside, then go inside, but Cooper takes it an extra fake, and he hops on this release, then takes an inside fake with that right foot to act like that route is going to the outside. And so when he explodes off that foot to his left, it will signify that he's actually taking an outside release on maybe a go. However, Jair does pretty well to not flip his hips around completely and be too aggressive to guard that outside route. And so when Cooper breaks back inside like this, Jair is able to punch him right in the chest, throwing off his timing and messing up the route a little bit. And so as Cooper is breaking inside, here's a really important part, is that Jair is able to keep his arm over Cooper's arm, who's trying to swat away at Jair. But Jair is not having it, and he still has his right hand on Cooper's left shoulder to be able to field the break and be able to slow him down. And because of that, he's able to stick on this slant route, which was really well run by Cooper, but Jair's there to break it up. And specifically in the first half, during man coverage reps, Jair was low-key locking Cooper down. He does great on this out route to stay underneath, to be able to undercut anything. And again, here at the bottom of your screen, against a curl route, Jair's right there. He's physical with Cooper. He's not backing down from the fight, and he doesn't allow a reception or even a target. And I showed those reps because from this point on, it got pretty ugly for Jair in off-man coverage here against Cooper in the slot, and he burns him. Cooper's gonna run a nice dig route where he releases it outside. So Jair has to respect that, and Cooper just very sharply, very quickly cuts it inside. And Jair can't react quick enough, he can't get hands on him to slow him down like on the previous slant. And that's a great catch by Cooper for 11 yards. Now here's a play where Cooper got a catch here, but I wouldn't really put this entirely on Jair just because there's not really much he could do. The Cowboys do a great job to get him into motion, which gets him a free release. And then they also have Jason Witten kind of setting a pick here to block out Jair, make this a harder angle for him to run around. And you can see here how that just makes his job tougher. There's no way that he's going to be able to get to Cooper on this drag route, and it's wide open for him. But on this play, there's no one to blame but Jair Alexander, and Cooper honestly just makes a really great play on this. Ooh, he turns them around so nasty and then makes the contested sideline catch. Man, what a tough play out of Cooper. And if we're looking at this route here, this honestly reminds me a lot of that initial slant route that he ran. Because if we remember before, he would take that hard step to the inside and then break outside and then go back inside for the slant. But on this one, he goes inside with that same hard plant, then just quickly goes outside. So it's really hard for Jair to know what's going on when Cooper's making every single route look exactly the same. And he honestly does a pretty good job to recover and get back into position. But for as decent defense as this is just better offense, man. Great route, great contested catch on the sideline, get your feet in bounds too. Hell of a play by Cooper. This game just kept getting worse and worse for Jair, who gets toasted on this sluggo by Cooper. And then at least make the tackle, man. Oof. Cooper's just so electric with the ball in his hands and brings in the 53-yard touchdown. Now before I break down the route and coverage, we got to look at it from this view and the nasty spin move that Cooper puts on this safety. Woo, where are you going, man? And Cooper stares back at him. Look at this. Oh, that's so disrespectful, man. He stares back at him. That's like AI stepping over Ty Lue, man. Look at this. Oh, that's so nasty. Rest in peace, Darnell Savage. Can we have a moment of silence for this dude? That's just crazy, man. But look at this route. It's a little bit of a lackadaisical slant by Cooper, but that's actually on purpose to try and get Jair to bite on it, and that's exactly what he does. He plays it aggressively, trying to drive and cut it off, but then look at how Cooper just drops his hips and easily cuts upfield in one motion. It's so fluid because he's such a great athlete. His agility to make cuts like this is effortless, honestly, and he creates so much space against Jair, brings it down, and man, you know what happens next. The rest is history, bro. That's disgusting. So now moving on to the zone coverage reps, and Jair honestly did worse here. He's in a deep quarter zone here, and Cooper's running a post route, and it's just too much space that he's given up, man. Jair was just never really in a position to make a play. He's got to make a break on that ball sooner if he's going to get into the catch point. It wasn't all horrible on this play. He's playing cover 3 against Cooper, who's running an out route. And this has to be from film study or picking up on keys, because Jair is somehow able to read this route and stop as soon as Cooper does. But you can see here that he's got his back turned to Cooper. It's not like he saw this route and reacted to it. He simply just knew that Cooper was going to break on his route when he did. And unless he's a mind reader, like, that has to be from film study. So great job by Jair right there to sit on that route and not allow a throw. Now the Packers weren't doing the best job in disguising their cover 3 defense. You can see the single high safety here, and at this point Jair, he's already turning his back, indicating he wants to play with inside leverage for his deep third zone. And the Cowboys saw this and adjusted accordingly. Since they knew Jair, he was wanting to jump any in-breaking route like a post, they used that against him and got Cooper to run a post corner. Now this baited Jair in, and then they made him pay. Such a nasty route, and great job selling the post by Cooper, cutting it inside those couple steps, and then boom, just turning it around. And at this point, man, Jair is toast. There's nothing he can do to recover. Cooper can really just run any route in the book and make you look silly. And that's what's going to happen again on this play with the Cowboys, make Jair look silly yet again. This cover 3 defense was not working whatsoever for them. I don't know why they stuck in it for so long, but you can see here that, again, he's looking inside, trying to break on any inside route, and then if you have an outbreaking route, it's just so hard for them to get their hips around and flip them in the opposite direction. And so Jair, he doesn't even try and do that. Making Jair turn his back like this, making it look so obvious and the Cowboys know that it's cover 3, you're just setting him up for failure. And Cooper runs a great route here, snaps it off really quickly, drops his hips, cuts it off. That's just so smooth, man. Now there were 10 reps out of the 44 passing plays where Jair was not covering Cooper, and he did add 3 catches for 25 yards. And so here's 2 of them. I'm not going to show them all just because that's not really the purpose of this video, but just know that he did add 3 more catches to get to his final total on the day. Alright, now that we've gone over the film, we can use that to add some context to the stats between Amari Cooper and Jair Alexander to see who really won this matchup. So the Cowboys had 44 passing attempts. Now 32 of those Jair fall around Amari Cooper, and 10 of those they did not line up to each other's side. Now let's get those 10 out the way. Cooper had 3 catches for 25 yards on just those 10 reps, leading to a success rate of 33%. Now when he faced Jair, he put up a ridiculous 8 catches for 201 yards, which is just insane. And so that leads to a 25% success rate, which means that Jair, he did better than his teammates, but we've also got to look at sample size here, 32 versus 10. That's a pretty big difference, so you got to think about that as well before you say, oh, Jair did really well. Now to give him credit, he did come up with 1 pass breakup and 1 interception when he was facing off against Amari Cooper, so you got to give him credit for that. However, he just didn't do a good enough job, to be honest, based off of these stats, based off of the film that we just watched. But before I really get into the arguments, we got to pose the question, who really won this matchup? Let me know who you think before I reveal my answer, my opinions. Now, I really think that the winner today between Amari Cooper and Jair Alexander was Amari Cooper. A lot of the other videos that I made of this series, they've been a lot closer, and while Jair, he had his good reps, there was just so many more bad reps where he lost, and he lost ugly. It's not even like you'd be close to Cooper and he would just lose at the catch point, or Dak would throw an amazing ball that he just couldn't get to. He was getting turned around. He was getting straight embarrassed, man. I love Jair Alexander, but I've also got eyes that can see, and they saw he got burnt that game, man, bad. I feel like most of y'all should agree with me based off of what we just saw. And I don't know, maybe unless you're a really diehard Packers fan, or maybe you're Jair Alexander's mom, I don't know, hi Mrs. Alexander, sorry to shit on your son, but it wasn't his day today. So that's gonna do it for my Amari Cooper versus Jair Alexander film breakdown. Again, that was week 5 from 2019. If y'all want to watch the game and see what I saw and maybe come up with a different opinion. Again, these are 2 of the top guys at their position, and even though Cooper took Jair to school, Jair is still a damn good cornerback. So if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. If you're still listening, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Let me know who you think won the matchup. Do you agree with me with Cooper? If not, why? I'm always open to discuss opinions. Alright, this was Jordan or Texans Thoughts. Hope you enjoyed and come back for more videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Take care, everyone, and remember, the film don't lie.